a lot's been going on in the Bitcoin crypto space specifically this week. One of the biggest players that's not really public facing. It's not like a really retail company. So a lot of you maybe don't know the name. But we had another one bite the dust here, and it is causing massive carnage for a lot of people involved, and that is a company called Prime Trust. Now, just think about that name, Prime Trust, like as in prime, as in like the best trust, the most trusted person. And so that's what they were. They were like a trusted third party for retail-facing companies that would handle their Bitcoin transactions as well as storing their Bitcoin for them. And unfortunately, the most trustworthy company, Prime Trust, is no longer trustworthy, should have never been trustworthy, and they have gone down. And it's a big math problem. The math problem is that they owe about $155 million to clients, and they have only about $71 million in assets. It's a big problem. They don't even have 50 cents on the dollar for what they owe. Now, what led to some of this problem is almost unbelievable. I mean, it is unbelievable. It's probably not worth believing. It's probably a lie, but so far the story is that, we just happened to lose the keys to our wallets. So with Bitcoin, you store it yourself. What you have to store is you have to store your private key. It's sort of like if you had gold back in the day and you buried it out in the desert and you made yourself a treasure map so you could go back and find that gold later. And you want to protect that treasure map with everything you have, because if somebody were to steal that treasure map, they can go find your gold, right? Or if it got burned up in a fire, how would you go find your gold again? And so private keys to Bitcoin are sort of similar. You want to protect those private keys. You don't want to lose them. But apparently Prime Trust just lost their keys. And all the Bitcoin that they were holding on behalf of clients and customers just disappeared. That's what we're supposed to believe. And so because of that, they've been insolvent for a few years now. But nobody just knew that. Nobody called them out on that. Now, they went through a management change in 2021. The management change came in. They didn't really know what the heck was going on. They lost access to some of these old wallets. They lost the private keys. And, of course, what do you do when you lose all your clients' money? Well, you lie to them. You pretend you didn't lose all your money. And then you try to keep a lid on it while you try to hopefully get that money back. Like a degen gambler, if I could just get a little bit more money, I know I can make my money back, right? And they're doing that. And they're trying to get it back. Now, how do they do that? Well, just like any degenerate gambler, you have to get more and more risky. If you want to try to get those crazy returns, you have to move more on the risk scale. But the problem is you move more on the risk scale, you're taking more risk, and you probably have bigger losses. And that's exactly what happened. They used the remaining clients as assets that they had to go try to make that money back. They went and YOLO'd, as we'd call it. You only live once, or aped into a position. Let's just push it all on the table. I'm all in, like a poker game, or like bet it all on red at the roulette table. And they went all in like a Ponzi scheme, taking new client deposits in to try to win back the money for the old clients, or taking new deposits in to redeem funds for new clients. Now, that doesn't work good. They even went as far as using some customer funds to give to FTX for their political contributions. I mean, it's insane what they did, and all in the name of trying to hide this. It says they had and on top of it, they had been operating in Texas without a money transmitter license. So not only did they do all these shady things as, Prime Trust, not only did they do all these shady things, they were actually running an illegal operation, an unlicensed illegal operation. And so it's bad. It's bad. They were buying some coin called Audio, is what it looks like, trying to win their money back. But yeah, that thing was at 38 cents just a couple months ago, and now it's at 18 cents. That didn't do too well. It never does. When you get behind like that, like an degenerate gambler, it's probably going to be a losing proposition. Now, what's even crazier news this week was FTX. The FTX that stole about $60 billion, Sam Bankman-Fried. That exchange is thinking about restarting. They want to open back up, called FTX 2.0, which is completely insane to me. I understand sometimes people want to go back and revive like iconic brands and give them another shot. I get that. FTX is far from an iconic brand. FTX is the poster child for stealing people's money. That is not a name that you'd want to associate it with. And in the bankruptcy proceedings that went through, it found out that they didn't really have any technology. All they had was I think like a spreadsheet, maybe it was like a Google Sheet ledger and one bank account. Like it was the most archaic, simple organization that was there. So it's not like they're resurrecting some cutting edge technology, some cutting edge software systems or anything like that. Apparently, per the bankruptcy filings, they have none of that. So they don't have a good name. They have no customer goodwill. They have no brand equity or loyalty. They have no processes or systems. They have no technology. What do they have? Oh, man, I just don't understand that. Some people are just out for, I don't know, people like banging their head against the wall, I suppose. In other news in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency space, we're continuing to see the screws get tightened around the SEC chair, Gary Gensler. He's the head of the SEC, as they should be. Now, I have a little bit of conflicting views on this in a sense where it's like, I don't like the SEC. I'd like to see the SEC shut down. Their supposed goal of protecting consumers has not worked. All they do is harm consumers more and more. They completely failed over and over and over, and they should shut down in disgrace. I don't need a government body to tell me what I can and can't do with my money. If I want to YOLO into a position in Vegas or YOLO into a cryptocurrency, I should be allowed to do that. I don't need them to tell me what I can and can't do. I don't need them to protect me. That being said, here they are. They're here, and so we have to abide by them. But Gary Gensler has come under so much fire for his vicious and aggressive attack on cryptocurrencies that now there's entire petitions going around of people asking for his resignation. There was actually some news that came out this week that he was going to resign. And so a lot of people were expecting that, and then it looked like maybe that got a little bit ahead of itself. Maybe there's a little bit more of a rumor than some truth. So he's not quite resigning yet, but it's certainly looking like it's getting close to that, as he should. Like I said, I'd like to see him shut down.